Okay, now. Just be nice to me. Okay, fuck. This is gonna be an episode. I have a feeling. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to Not Another Wedding Podcast. My name is Sheena. I'm here with
Tameka. Hi.
Before we get started on today's episode, just a huge shout out to River City Rentals for giving us this awesome set today. We've got iFeel Media / Capturing the News behind the capturing. Oh my God, I can't talk. Capturing the News. There we go. Behind the camera, and another big shout out to Matt Fosse Entertainment for helping us with all of the extra things that we needed in order for this podcast to be a thing. So we are episode 4. What do you want to talk about today?
Some things that I want to talk about. You know, I've had a weekend, so this is going to be one of those near and dear to my hearts, which is vendor roles, and specifically wedding coordinator roles.
Love it.
A lot of people definitely skewer roles, just not a little bit, kind of a lot of it. And some people will think that we're in charge of certain things that we're not in charge of. Vendors assume other coordinators, they don't know what their roles fully entail. They're either taking on too much or they don't take on enough. So I think highlighting some of those topics, I definitely want to talk about this weekend.
Okay,
or see, I'm still thinking about the weekend.
It's fine. There was a lot that happened.
There's so much that happened.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so let's like start at the top with what is the role. Well, and like I think this is something else that we need to talk about is that when you hire a planner, that's different than when
100%.
When you hire somebody to plan your wedding, that is different than when you hire somebody to coordinate your wedding. These
1,000%.
are two totally separate roles. They should be priced differently. What the client gets is going to be different. Boundaries are also going to be different. So why don't we talk about the differences between those things first?
Yeah.
And then we can kind of
go into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so the biggest thing for me with planning your wedding, and this is not exclusive either, designing your wedding. Because not everyone who plans it will design it. Or if they do it, they have a limited scope, or there's the expectation they take on everything. So that's going to vary from like planner to planner. It's kind of a personal thing. Like we love doing the design over here.
Listen, if I'm planning your wedding, I'm designing your wedding, and I'm taking credit for all of it. Okay?
The entire thing. It's
Full
gonna
thing.
And it's gonna be
Full
fucking
thing.
amazing.
Yeah.
But that for typically most planners, they do it because they want to design it and they want to bring your wedding vision to life. So they're with you from the fucking jump. Like they're going to be going to all the venue walkthroughs. They're going to be reviewing every single contract. They're going to be referring people over to you. And you can actually decide how involved you want your planner to be. Do you want them to just kind of take everything and be like, boom, here you go, get it done?
Yeah, here's
or
my credit card.
exactly. Or do you want to sit down and meet with all the people that are going to be a part of your day? But ultimately, it is going to be your planner that's bringing all of those things to you. And I think a lot of people don't fully understand the difference between coordination and wedding planning. They think that they're interchangeable. Your wedding planning will usually encompass coordination of your day because they're not just going to plan the whole thing and just be like, peace out, bye, on your day of. It's not going to happen. So that's included, but coordination does not include planning your day. Like, if we're doing a coordination, we're a little bit different though. Like, we don't just come in 30 days out and just say, okay, let's just like send out one quick email and then build your timeline a week out. Like, we are going to be there a lot earlier. But typically you're going to have somebody that's there at least 30 days out. And if they're not there at least 30 days out, like that's a red flag.
Massive
like
red
huge
flag.
red flag.
Where's the red flag guy?
Yeah, right? He needs
Like,
he needs to make an
legit.
appearance, just like
For real.
But you typically want someone there at least 30 to 60 days out, right? Some people will offer 3-month packages, some will offer 6, but like this is the pretty standard norm that you're going to get.
Well, and also the hiring process for that too, right? Like most couples are hiring a planner like 1 to 2 years out, depending on how expensive that wedding is going to be, depending on what they're able to book in terms of venues. Whereas a coordinator, you're probably going more along the lines of like 6 to 18 months out.
Yeah.
So that's something else to kind of keep in mind too. If like any of our viewers aren't wedding pros and they're like potential clients, you want to think about that. When are you hiring your planner? When are you hiring your coordinator? Basically, as soon as you get engaged and if you know you want somebody
right
to plan
away.
your wedding, you're calling them. Most planners will work with couples who haven't found a venue yet, with the stipulation in the contract that the date can be manipulatable. So like that's something to consider as well. Whereas coordination, you already have majority of your vendors booked, or you know who they are, or you're fine doing that research yourself. So you don't have to hire them as far out. But the general rule is once you get engaged, figure out if you want somebody who's part of your planning team and hire those people as soon as possible.
Yeah. And another thing to look out for, because some people will actually try and hire coordinators, like day of coordinators, really early, because you will get some people that are like, I want to plan everything, I want to be on top of it, and they find that maybe some people might not be available because a lot of planners are leaving their dates open for those full planning couples. So if you're looking like 18 months out for a day of coordination, you might not find that. Like I remember we didn't open our books too early for that either. Only when we were partway through a season, then we would open for the next one, just to make sure that if we have a full plan couple that wants to come on board, that they kind of essentially get first dibs. And they need to have that freedom to be able to work between those dates, and then you start filling your books a little bit afterwards. There are going to be some companies that are out there that primarily focus on coordination, but even with them as well too, you find that they start stacking their books around a year out and stuff like that too. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you are booking, that you're going to have more options available to you at that 1 year mark. And we love somebody who's prepared and comes early, but sometimes if you're a little bit too early, like we can't guarantee certain things for you, and that's just the way it is. But going back to what the differences are, like primarily it's just 30 to 60 days out, you're going to be there. We're not going to help you find vendors. Like our job is not to source vendors for you. We're going to be touching base with your vendors, introducing ourselves, working on timelines. I know we personally like to do a venue walkthrough. It's not something we charge extra for. It makes my life easier if I know like where the exits are, certain like where the loading and unloading is. Is there something, a door that sticks, or I have to keep in mind?
Prior to your arrival, right? And prior to rehearsal too. Just like knowing all of that information, so that when you are sending out that final vendor email, you already have that information for
exactly. Because I know for myself, I like to send out a final vendor email. I know you do it a week out. I like to send it the night before, specifically because people don't listen. People don't listen. People don't fucking listen. And they will turn around and read your friggin' email and still do the exact opposite of everything your email says.
Listen, that's a whole sit in your lane conversation. That has to be its whole, like,
a whole separate thing. So I will send it out, but because I've done a venue walkthrough, or I have like all my details there, I'll say if you're catering, you're gonna come through this entrance. If you're looking for parking, you're gonna park here. Because I don't want 20,000 people asking me a whole bunch of things on the day of. And that's where your coordinator is going to make sure they include, whether they do a walkthrough or they do a very detailed call with the venue management, whatever it is, that's their job to coordinate your vendors, to coordinate and manage your wedding day. We're not going to plan it. Like you have your ceremony time set, you have your dinner time set. We're just going to tell you what can we logistically fit in between it all. What works with your photographers? What little things can you tweak or adjust? Things like that, right? And we're going to ensure it all works smoothly.
Well, and to add on to that too, I think that, hold on, I gotta,
it's all good.
Like to add on to that too, the other thing with like coordination and what that looks like, I think that like our timeline as far as like when we're stepping into our role with that wedding, like at that 30 to 60 day mark, like this is also going to depend on like where or when you're getting married too. Like if you're getting married in the height of the season, I'm probably going to reach out to your people not as far out because they're not thinking of you yet.
They're not. They're going to see your email and leave it there.
Especially anybody on your media team. Your photographer's not thinking about your timeline a month out. They're just not. They have 5 other weddings before yours. They're not thinking about that. So I'm not going to waste my time, and I'm not going to give you anxiety by saying, oh yeah, I'll reach out to your photographer a month out, and then when you message me the next week asking, have I heard from your photographer? Well, no. I haven't.
Well, we do reach out though, because we're different. We will socially reach out, introduce ourselves,
right?
Like,
and usually as soon as my couple has hired me, like if I ask for their engagement photos if they haven't already had them, because I'm selfish and I like to feature all of my couples as much as I can on my Instagram.
See, I like to do that too, but my follow-up game is not great with social media, so I don't. I don't post as
So
much as
by
I
the time
should.
this episode airs, that's going to be untrue.
Okay,
So,
true.
but like, I already know you're a photographer, and chances are they already know me because I've already reached out to them. But in a professional capacity, reaching out to talk about your timeline, I'm not going to, if you're getting married in July, I'm not reaching out in June.
Yeah.
Like, if you're getting married at the end of July, I'm not reaching out at the 1st of June because that photographer doesn't have time for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So I think that, like, that's something else that we should
kind of address as well too.
Like, talk about too. Like,
which reminds me of a completely different topic, which I think we're going to end up talking about on another episode.
Yeah.
Of people who are demanding timelines 6 months in advance,
Oh,
and it's not even, that will be a stay in your lane conversation, definitely.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but
I just feel like some things, some things that are asked of us are unrealistic, and
100%.
only because the client who is asking them, they've never gotten married before, they don't know what they're doing, right? Like, you don't know what you don't know. So I think, like, just one thing that that should be talked about or pointed out is, like, when it comes to us doing our jobs, most of us know how to do it. We know, and I say most of us because not everybody does.
She wants to whisper it. A lot of people don't know how to do their fucking job. Like, that's just what it is.
I think that that's important because, like, we're okay. So, and the reason that I want to point this out is because I had a couple clients who are like, well, you said you're going to take over 60 days out. Well, babe, I have. Like, I've already reached out to people, but in a different capacity because there are certain things that we can't confirm until 30 days out.
You just can't.
We just can't. There's certain, like, we're kind of in a little bit of a limbo here. But when I say I'm going to take over 60 days out, that means any communication that is coming to you from any of your vendors, forward that shit over to me.
Yeah.
Make sure that I'm CC'd. Introduce me to all of your vendors if I don't already know who they are, right? So, like, that's why I like to come in 60 days out. So that by the time that 30 days out comes, where you know what your RSVP count is, you know mostly what you want your floor plan to look like, or you've built it if that's something that you're interested in doing yourself. I'm already ready. Like, I'm ready to flip over into, okay, this is our timeline.
All the information there.
I've got everything, right? So it just kind of speeds up that process so that in the last 30 days, we're not shoving a whole bunch of shit in there that could have already been done.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that definitely helps because a lot of people don't realize that those little things, the little communication, am I coming at 3 or 3:30? Like, how many staff are you bringing? Are you bringing 3? Are you bringing 4 or 5? Those things make a difference. And within that 30 days, you don't want to be fucking bothered as a couple with those little tiny nuanced details. Yeah. Fuck, you might not even remember it. Legit. Right? And that's okay. That's literally why we're here.
There's other things that are changing. Like, I just had a call for one of my September clients, and she was going to have a piñata. And we got on a call, like, we got on her 1 month out call yesterday, and she's like, yeah, fuck the piñata. I was like, okay.
We're not doing that anymore.
Let's adjust the timeline. But, like, those are things that are going to change, right? Like, by 30 days out, you're in the let's just fucking get this over with stage because all of your shit's due, or in that month, it's due.
Yeah,
so
everything needs to be paid.
this is when you're shelling out majority of the money that you're going to be paying for your wedding. Like, all the rest of the, like, your deposits have already been paid, but everything else is due, right? Yep. And then you have to come up with your final menu. You have to decide if you're doing name cards, like all that shit.
And then, of course, like, you know, guests not knowing proper fucking etiquette. We're like, I'm coming. Oh, wait, it's a week before your wedding. By the way, me and my +6 family, we can't make it now.
Right.
So you're adjusting a bunch of shit.
Exactly.
And, like, most caterers that we've been lucky enough to work with, they get it. You know, they'll adjust and work with it, but that's just an extra headache for the bride. Like, you don't want to remember all those stupid other details in addition to it.
So if we're already in it, then, like, it's fine. We take care of it. It's cool. So, and I think that that's something that, like, it's one of those things where, you know, you see the reel on Instagram and it's like, well, what does a planner really do? That's
what a planner does.
That's what your coordinator is going to do. And your coordinator is going to be the person on the other side. Like, I like to say, after my 1 month out call with a client, I always like to say, okay, we're going to chat the week of your wedding for sure, but we're probably going to talk in between there as well. And my rule of thumb is if something stresses you out or makes you want to stab somebody in the eye with a fork, you call me and I'll figure it out. And I also like to give them the scapegoat too. Like, and this is probably one of my favorite things about a client being able to hire a coordinator or planner is in those 60 days out from your wedding, that's when all the opinions come in.
Oh, yeah.
That's when everybody all of a sudden has an opinion of how your wedding should go or what you should do. Or
I'm smiling because I didn't know you did that, but I also do that too.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like whatever. So I always like to say, okay, if somebody comes at you with something that you're done with their shit, you don't want to listen to them, you say, my planner doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Or my planner would say no. Or I'll check with my planner. You blame it on me. But here's the thing. You have to tell me when you blame shit on me so that I'm prepared, because I definitely had a guest come. No, it wasn't a guest. It was a bridesmaid come up to me, and she started to bitch me out about something. And I don't even remember what it was. I was in the middle of folding a napkin.
All the bridesmaids.
But one of the bridesmaids come over. She was super annoyed with something, and she was like, well, you told so-and-so that blah, 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 blah. And I don't even remember what it was. Here's the thing, though. I'm never going to throw my bride under the bus, right? So I went with it, and I was like, well, yeah, I did tell her that. And then we diffused the situation together. She was totally fine. By the end of the conversation, she was thanking me and hugging me. And, like, here's the thing. That's what I'm there for.
Yep.
Like, I am there to be the asshole so that you don't have to be. And
Precisely.
that's one of the ways that I introduce myself at a rehearsal, too. It's just letting everybody know, like, hey, you're our key players. Whoever is a part of this ceremony are the most important people to our couple today. So if you don't want to be an asshole, you come and find me, and I'll be the asshole for you. Because I'm here to make sure, like,
you're there to make sure shit gets done and
legit,
everyone's
and
happy.
I don't care if your guests don't like me.
We're
don't
not there to
care.
make friends, though.
No.
Like, literally,
Very
by
true.
the time dinner comes around, I just want to be a fucking hermit in a corner. I don't want to talk to anybody. And and just, like, be their dad. Like, I'm not there, and I'm a social butterfly.
Totally.
Like, I'm just at a point where I'm like, if I'm at a table with guests, I will talk, but my meter is running so low. If I could just be by myself, just hiding, I'm like, I don't exist. I'm not a human. I'm just...
Pepsi or your wedding Coke.
Right? And always. And that's it. Like, that's all I want, just those few minutes of bliss, right? Because I'm not there for you guys. I'm there for them.
Totally.
And everybody at weddings wants to think, and I'm not saying you're not special. You got invited because you mean something, but you're not above the standard rules that they put in place. Like, you're not. If you were, you would be the ones getting married. Yeah. But you're not. Leave them the fuck alone. Yeah. Don't ask them 6,000 questions. Don't go and try to be helpful when you haven't been assigned to do something. Yeah. And then don't do the opposite. Don't say you're going to be helpful and then just fuck off afterwards too, right? Like, just chill the fuck out. Just chill out.
Well, and you know what I find to be kind of like backwards funny is, like, I say I don't care if a guest likes me because like I truly don't. Like you said, it's not the guest that has hired us, it's the couple. But what ends up happening is because we fight so fiercely for our clients to make sure that they have an amazing day and they're not stressed out and nobody's coming to them telling them that the toilet paper is out in the bathroom. Because let me tell you, she doesn't fucking care. Yep. It turns around into oh my God, you're so good at your job and we love you and you're so amazing. And I think that that's a testament to exactly what a professional, experienced coordinator is able to do. Like, you don't feel like, as a guest, you don't feel like, oh my God, this person's a cunt, right? Yeah. Can I say that? I can say that.
You can say that. We said it. We're going with it. It's fine.
But like, you don't feel like you've reached that level of asshole. Yeah. You know, like, it's like, okay, well, they're acting on behalf of the couple that we have come to see get married, right? Or come to experience this. And I think that it also puts into perspective too that, like, if your coordinator isn't willing to navigate those boundaries that the couple has put up, this is not the job for you.
Yeah. And that's just it.
And not everybody's meant to be a wedding planner, and not everybody is meant to be a coordinator.
And that's okay.
Agreed.
That's okay. Because there are other roles if you love the job. And this is another thing that goes to coordination. My job is not to be your assistant or your concierge for the day. I am there to make sure I'm coordinating and managing your day, receiving your vendors, setting up your ceremony space, reception, cocktail, what have you, making sure everything flows according to that. And if your vendors have logistical questions, I'm there to answer it. Your job is to be there, enjoy your day, take it all in, and just be in the moment and not worry about the other shit.
Well, right? And if you've hired a professional team, like, as a coordinator, I should be able to trust your media team to take you to where you need to go and know that I am in contact with that, whoever's the head of the media team. Like sometimes a videographer will take that role or sometimes a photographer will take that role. But whoever it is that I'm communicating with, like we know, okay, let's plan to have them back here at this time. I'm going to be here doing all of this. Let me know if you're running late. I'll manage that on my side. But like, that's the other part of it though. Like, you can totally excel at your job as a coordinator or planner if the right vendors have been paired with you. Because we end up picking up a lot of the slack.
We do.
Of everybody. Because it's our job to make sure that your day goes as smoothly as possible. So if a venue hasn't cleaned, we end up taking that on. If a photographer or media team is maybe new or maybe not as extroverted or loud as they could be, we end up taking on that extra role of helping them organize people for family shots or whatever that ends up being. So I think that that's another thing that, like, if you're watching this as somebody who's planning your wedding, really ask your vendors questions before you're hiring them. Like, what's your backup plan for this? What happens if this happens? Have you experienced yada, yada, yada before? Like, you really need to treat these interviews that you're having with these people that you're hiring on your special day seriously. And it's
you're paying them serious amount. It's not Uncle Sam that's just coming over with a camera. Please don't. But like, that's not what's happening. So these are professionals in their field. So for me, and I know you're the same, I don't go with family or don't go with the wedding party for their family photos. I don't go with them for their portrait photos. Like, I will be in touch with your media team and they will let me know when you're on your way back, or we'll coordinate when they need to be dropped off. Sometimes, you know, they have an idea and I was like, listen, you got artistic freedom. Did you see something? Do you think the couple's gonna like it? Okay, and we'll like pivot and adjust while still keeping it in the timeline, right? But I'm not there because I have 60,000 other things to do for your day to make sure it's successful. And because I'm there to manage your day and coordinate it. But again, there are services like wedding concierge. If you need somebody to be there with you, that's okay too, but you can hire that. But that's not what your coordinator should be doing, because you have to ask, if your coordinator can stand there with you the entire time, what the fuck are they doing?
Agreed.
I'm like straight up and honest. I know some people do it. What the fuck are you doing? You, like, I know there's so many other things you should be doing with your time. That means you're not allocating your time properly. And I can guarantee you your timeline's going to be like fucked up later.
Totally fucked.
Like, I will stake everything on it. Your timeline will be fucked later. That's not an if. It will happen.
No, it will. You're going to be late. Something didn't happen that was supposed to. Something's going to get lost. Whatever it is. Like, you need to trust your media team to be able to handle that situation, and I shouldn't have to be babysitting with you.
Because realistically, if you're doing any sort of photos before your ceremony, that should be your time prepping and making sure everything for the ceremony is finalized, that you're receiving vendors, because people are coming and they're setting up, whether it's your bartenders.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, they're coming in.
If our companies have been hired to do
set up and strike,
then we're checking in with our setup and strike team, you know,
to make sure that they're on time, everything looks picture perfect, whatever it may be. Maybe you might be getting some detail shots if you're on site too. So we're going to coordinate with your second shooter and be like, okay, shoot this side of the room. This looks amazing. This looks good. Candles
lit, like all of those kinds of things. And like, I think that that's something else too, like from the other side, like from the other perspective of the media team, they don't want your coordinator hovering over them.
They don't.
Like, that's not
It's like, bitch, I know how to do my job. I don't want someone hovering over me, so why am I going to hover over you?
Well, and, like, the other thing to that, too, is, like, your photographer should know what you want. Like, you should have that conversation with them, whether you're the one bringing up that conversation and then scheduling a time to have that call if they're not able to have it with you right then and there, or if your photographer sends out, a lot of photographers send out, like, a 30 days out list where you're going to fill in a questionnaire for them. So, like, again, red flag if you're not having those conversations, if that hasn't been sent out to you. But like, you should, as a client, you should already be in contact with your photographer about all of these things. That's a conversation between the two of you. I just need to know, how long do you need to make that happen? And then I will build everything else around you.
That's it.
further to like a coordinator or planner running around on the day, I always feel weird if I'm standing still. I'm like, what am I missing? What's next? What should be happening? Is this like, do I have 5 minutes here? I gotta go pee, or I gotta change my shoes.
That's literally
like, that's what it
Maybe
should
I should
be.
drink some water since I haven't had any for 6 hours.
Where is my water bottle? Where did I put my clipboard? You know, like, but it should be like those things, not standing around waiting for the next thing to happen, because I should be the one facilitating that thing to happen.
I'm sorry, if as a media team you need me there to call your shot list, I'm probably not recommending you to anybody again afterwards.
Never.
I'm not going to do it. I'm like, if you can't do basic elementary school reading off a fucking list and I need to be there and do it for you, I'm not working with you
Now,
again.
I do have one exception to that. If I have my setup and strike team with me doing a flip, and they don't have a second shooter, it's just one of them, I will offer my help. Only because I've got an assistant.
That's
with
you
me.
offering your help, though. There's a difference when they come in expecting it.
Oh, yeah, fuck no.
I'm like, if you were expecting it walking in, that means you were underprepared and you left it on me to pick up the slack.
And this is also a conversation that I have prior to. Like, this isn't a wedding day conversation. This is a conversation that I have prior. I know you don't have a second shooter coming in. This is what my staff looks like. I need to make sure that those photos take up this amount of time. And if it's going to help and I am able, 100% I will be on that mic with the authority voice.
And even for me, like, I might be there to wrangle everyone to get to that space. And if you still need someone there calling afterwards because you're by yourself, I would put my assistant on it.
That's fair.
I wouldn't, it just feels like one of those things where my time is better allocated because there's so many other moving pieces for your day that I can tell an assistant to call a list.
That's totally
Because
true.
it's a basic thing.
I'm not going to offer it if I have something else to do, though.
Yeah.
Like, and my assistant needs to be at my beck and call.
Yeah.
I don't need to be waiting for my
I'm talking
assistant.
about in your scenario, though, where it's like you have the time, maybe there's a flip, and like everything's good, and you can afford to do that, then I would send my assistant, I would go elsewhere.
I'm a control freak. I want to make sure that it gets done. I would rather have my assistant running around.
I just feel like calling a list is just too basic for me.
That's fair.
I wouldn't be okay with it.
That is fair.
Yeah.
And this is just a personality difference.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
No, but I mean, like, on the basics of it all, like, yeah, if you didn't have a coordinator there, what the fuck would you do?
You'd be screwed.
Yeah.
You'd be screwed. And like, that's it. I think that's another thing that we should talk about too, is like, do you know what I wish could happen?
I mean, many things, but what in this instance?
Okay, so I wish that, and like, this is totally not possible, and it defeats the purpose of getting a coordinator because it would instill so much stress after the wedding day. But I wish that we could give like a debriefing report afterwards.
100%. I wish that too.
Like,
I think we talked about this last year, and I'm like, it would be great if we could have a debrief just to be like, this is everything that happened on your day
that you didn't know about because I'm fucking good at my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I wish. Like, I'm just thinking of, like, so many different things off of the top of my head. Like, I mean, we've talked about this on an episode before, but, like, your cake fiasco. Or, like, just thinking about, like, the tent that got delivered wrong, and then we're setting up this tent and getting, like, different, in the fucking rain, and then getting, like, different tents brought in, and the bride didn't even fucking know.
Yep.
And that's how good I am at my job. And the only reason she knew is because the rental company refunded her for this, like, the difference in price between the tent that they actually got versus the one that they paid for. And she was like, oh, so-and-so refunded me. And I was like, oh, yeah, because this happened. And she was like, oh, my God, I didn't notice. And I was like, yeah, because I'm fucking good at my job.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
Right? And, like, but I wish that, like, there could be some way to, like, convey that. You know?
It's one of those things of how can you convey that without looking like you're tooting your own horn? And it's not...
Here's the thing. I am. Toot.
Like, I mean, I'm okay with that, but I mean, obviously we want additional customers, like referrals afterwards. So there's that line where you're like, if you ask me, I'll fucking tell you. I'll tell you all of it. And you already know me. Like, I will tell you everything. And I'll tell you how I really feel, too. And that's why I'm like, okay, like, I get, like, you can't just give them that information. But so many people don't know.
Right.
So many people don't know. And then they turn around and they're like, oh, it was easy. So you end up with some people who are like, I should be a wedding coordinator. That seems easy. God. Because my wedding was so good and it didn't seem like my coordinator did that much.
Listen.
Yeah. And then you also have ones who are like, oh yeah, I feel like maybe I didn't need to spend that much because nothing happened. That's why you spent that much.
That's why.
Right? And Then you have other people who are planning their weddings who are like, oh, I don't think it's really necessary. But what are you going to do? Say you want to do a do-over of your wedding after you've gotten married and like you've dealt with all the stress because you tried to do it on your own. So how do you convey that without it being salesy? And that's the hard part.
Or coming off as an asshole.
Or coming off as an asshole. I'm okay with being an asshole though. Like I'm kind of okay with that.
I mean, we are a what's that? How does that phrase go?
I don't know. People just call me a bitch.
We are a how does it go? It's like people say it with wine.
The only thing I can think of is aged like fine wine, but I don't think that's what it is.
It's like we are a not everybody likes us, and that's okay. We're not for everybody.
We're not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, we're not
everyone's cup of tea.
It's not that, it's something else. But anyways, it doesn't matter. So, what was I gonna say? It's going off on a tangent.
It's okay. We were talking about, like I was saying, like, yeah, we were talking about like debriefing, and I was like, how we can do it, and without being an asshole, and I'm like, for me, without being a bitch.
Yeah.
But like it's that fine line, and then also sometimes people just don't care to hear it after the fact.
That's true.
Like which is okay, but like sometimes they don't care. There's certain things where it's like shit hits the fan. Mm-hmm. Like with that unclean venue that I had, and we had to fucking clean for hours before setup. So the couple came in the night before and they saw everything.
Yeah.
So they're anxious, they're freaking out, they can't sleep because they're worried that it's gonna look like a fucking frat party happen in their venue space.
Yeah.
Right? But like we handled it.
Yeah.
Had they not been in the space the night before, like dropping off their own personal decor, they would have never known.
Yeah.
Like they would have never known, right? And those are the types of things we take care of. And there's going to be things that they see, and then they're going to be able to show their appreciation. But there's going to be a lot of times where people just don't fucking know.
Well, and I think that that's something else to kind of put into perspective too. Like, as there's a lot, and we've briefly talked about this before, but there's a lot of like pop-ups that are happening with planning and coordinating companies, and it comes from somebody who was like, oh my God, I did my own wedding and it was so cool and I had such a great time. Like, I want to do it for somebody else. Two things. One, planning your own wedding is not the same as planning somebody else's wedding. And two, there's a lot of things that are just not exactly what you realize that they are, because your wedding aesthetic that you planned at the venue that you planned is not going to be the same as anybody else's, regardless if the venue is the same or not. And I think that like the glamorousness of being a wedding planner that's portrayed on social media, and I'm hoping
everyone wants to have their J-Lo moment.
Everybody thinks that it's so cool. The reality of it is like, fuck yes, I love my job. I would not trade it for anything else in the world. I was 100% born to do this. All the things, right? Yeah. But this is a thankless job.
It is.
Like, it is labor intensive. You deal with more assholes than you do with nice guests. You are treated like staff. You are treated lower than that in some
You're treated
cases.
like the help.
You're treated like the help. And like a lot of people don't realize what that is like on the other side. And I think that that's also something
you also have to deal with people not respecting boundaries.
Totally.
So saying that you're the coordinator, you have to do this, and that.
Bullshit.
Like the one thing that I can bring up to you here is because, again, fresh in my mind is I had a bartending situation, and I did tell the couple, hire a bartender. As far as they know, everything was great. But now I'm dealing with the guest, family, and friends who are screaming at, our staff are screaming and getting mad at myself, saying, bar should have been set up, this should have happened. I'm not a bartender. I'm not, I don't have my pro serve. My staff doesn't have their pro serve. It's a liability and insurance issue. We cannot be handling your alcohol. Yeah. And the reason why it's not done is because you did not assign somebody to do it after being told multiple times to do it. Yeah. We're not going to do it just because you're angry and you want it to happen. Yeah. We are allowed to have boundaries as wedding coordinators, especially ones that are liability issues. And I think people don't understand that. Like, I'm not putting my blood, sweat, and tears into your fucking day just to be like, I don't feel like it. Happen. Right? Just to turn around. There's so many times I'm like, where did I get this cut from? I don't even know anymore.
Or I'm just going to cry in the closet for a second and then.
It's fine. Like, I think almost every wedding we have moments where we turn around and we just cry for a little bit and then we just get back to it. And that's okay. That's literally part of the job. Yeah. But to turn around and say you have to do something, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm just gonna say this. The only thing I have to do is stay black and die. Like, that's all I gotta fucking do. So, like, I don't have to do any fucking thing else. And as far as this wedding goes, I'm already doing what I've been hired to do.
I have fulfilled my contract.
And normally I go above and beyond. Like, that's
Well,
how
and I
we
think
are.
That's something else to talk about too. Is like, yes, we do have our contractual obligations, but like just like with anything else in the world, kindness goes a long way. And I am more willing to bend over backwards and break my back and run around with a paper cut than not if I'm being treated nicely.
Yep.
And I'm not being sworn at, and I'm not being belittled, and I'm not being degraded, and like all of the things, right? So I think that's a totally different
That's a whole different thing. But no, like, that's one of those things where, again, what is the role of your coordinator? Like, you are in charge of overseeing all of these things. A lot of this comes in your pre-event meetings, right? This is what I'll handle.
Interview process too.
That too,
like,
yeah.
Because not every coordinator is going to do the same things, and things are going to be priced differently too. Like, for example, I know that like you have different packages that you offer depending on the level that they want you to be involved. And whereas like I'm like, no, this is what I offer, this is what you get. And so like that's something else that to take into consideration too, like whether you are a coordinator sitting down and figuring out, okay, what exactly do I want to offer, when am I coming into this client's world, how much am I going to be charging them for this, what does that look like. And then also taking into consideration too, is this price just for the coordinator and her assistant? And am I paying extra for setup and strike? Because that's more bodies. That's a different team.
Yep.
Right? So I think that while we're talking about boundaries and like what we're doing and what we like to do, it's really important to think about like, what is that coordinator going to do? What is that breakdown? Like, I want like a list of the bare minimum that I can expect from that person so that I know, because not every coordinator is the same.
Yeah.
And that's why they're priced differently.
That's true too. And you were just bringing up a point that had me thinking about contracts. And specifically I always say, especially with coordinators, a larger contract is better.
Yep.
And it's not because they have all these clauses to protect themselves. A lot of things in my contract are honestly for your peace of mind. Like, most of it is so you can see my transparency and see like what I am obliged to do, what I will be fulfilling. Like, if there's something we talk about specifically, I will write it into the contract. So you know that I know I'm on the hook for it. You're not going to be like swindled afterwards or anything like that. Like, it's being taken care of, right? And in addition, like, I do have my boundaries in there, and I like to explain everything. I'm like, you're going to see some clauses that say this, this, and that. I'm like, this is why this is there. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to go over it with you, right? Boundaries are really important, because if you have a coordinator or a planner that doesn't have a boundary, what's going to end up happening between burnout and them just being completely unorganized and all over the place is there's going to be a lot of, I thought you were doing this, I thought you were doing that, and shit just doesn't get done. So you're going to be like, I just paid somebody and it's a fucking nightmare. Uncle Paul is now there hauling chairs. Like, you know, Aunt Susie's over here bringing my cake in. Like, there's certain things, and you learn as you go. I don't handle cake. I don't handle cake. The most I'll do is if you have the styrofoam bottoms, and then like I'll bring the styrofoam because I'm like, this is fake, it's not real. If it drops, it'll probably be fine as well too, right? So like certain things like that, I'm like, I will move that. But cake, I'm not doing it. Florals, I will not pick up your florals. Like certain things.
Transition to floral.
I will not, like, I'll transition it from like your ceremony space to reception, and it depends on the florist that you're working with. But I won't pick it up, because I am now responsible for the state that those flowers are in when they arrive. So if your florist refused to pack them, because I did it once, because I felt really bad, because I'm like, I feel like I'm not doing enough. But this was when I'm like, I want to do more, but I had to realize my own personal boundaries. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll pick up your florals, no problem. And they came, they're like, you have to load it into the vehicle. I'm like, well, you would probably know how to load it in best. They're like, nope, you have to take it on, you have to load it in yourself. And I was just nervous. I'm like, did I do it right? Did I do a good job?
Who said you had to load it in?
The florist.
What? What the fuck? Why?
Because they didn't want to handle it. If you're picking it up, they're not handling it in your vehicle. And that's fair. That's okay because, I mean, to a certain degree, they're like, we are not taking on the responsibility of delivery. We have handed it off to the client. It is
Okay,
your
yeah,
responsibility now. And I get that, which is exactly why I tell my clients, have it delivered. Because from their space to your venue and drop off, it is their responsibility.
They'll make
It
sure,
spills,
yeah.
it wilts, something happens, their responsibility.
Yeah.
And I realized that, hey, it's probably not going to happen where a cake falls or florals get damaged or whatever.
Yeah.
But with the amount of weddings we do, on average, it's bound to happen if we're doing it for all of them.
Yeah.
So just to be safe, I'm like, no, you're going to handle
That's
it.
fair.
Yeah. So like those are like certain boundaries that I have and I explain very clearly. I'm like, I do not do this. And this is for your protection. And people usually are like, no, that makes sense. I'm like, really? You spent thousands of dollars on your flowers. Are you not going to spend the $100 to have them dropped off?
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna risk it all for the biscuit? Like, no, don't do it. Like, you don't need to save that $100. Your peace of mind is worth it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, as you're, like, naming the things you don't do, I'm trying to think, like, I don't handle food. 100%, I'm not doing that. I do help with, like, cake cutting sometimes. It depends on what that looks like. But I'm also, like, a control freak. So if I'm offering to help with something, it's because I need it to happen in a certain amount
way.
of time or a certain way. Which usually, like, ends up, like, great. But I'm trying to think about, like, if there's anything else. Oh, I don't fucking do chairs.
Yeah, we learned.
Hard stop.
Yeah, we've been through
Don't
it.
do chairs.
We've been through with chairs.
And if my company is doing chairs for you, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's somebody else.
I feel like we could have a whole episode on chairs. I'm going to be very honest with you. This is one of those nuanced things that people don't realize. Take a lot of time and effort. It takes a lot of time and effort.
I have like kind of like a love-hate relationship with chairs because I hate them, but also if you have ugly chairs, then I want you to get different chairs.
No, I love a good chair. I just don't want to touch your chairs. I don't want to have to set them up. Like, we can have our team doing it, but I just know how time-consuming it is.
Yes.
Like, genuinely time-consuming.
And I'm a millennial and my back hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I just...
My back, my knees, my everything. I'm like fucking Missy Elliott, but like the broken version, not the sexy kind.
I was going to say something else. I think that, like, while we're talking about, like, coordinator roles, planning roles, it's also a good idea to talk about what a venue coordinator does versus what a
Do we have enough time to talk about that?
does. Do we have enough time? We got, like, 10 minutes.
Okay.
I feel like we can bang that out.
Yeah.
We can revisit it when we get to staying in your own lane.
Yeah. I cannot stand when a venue will turn around and say that we offer coordination of your day. No, the fuck you don't.
Crazy.
No, the fuck you don't.
Drives me
You
fucking
offer
crazy.
coordination of the venue. That's what you offer. You are not coordinating the day. You have not been in touch with all the vendors previously. You have not made a timeline. Like, yes, be a venue coordinator, but you're not doing all of it.
And I love me a good venue coordinator. Like, there are, and some venues will call them an event manager instead of a venue coordinator. Same fucking thing. But I love me a good venue coordinator. And this is why. It makes my job so much easier because I am now just talking to one person.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about talking to a banquet manager and the owner of the venue and then so-and-so who's the manager of the whole place. Like, I get to talk to one person. I have one person for this contact and they have all the information that I need, or they're going to get me all the information that I need.
Yep.
And then it also allows me to know, okay, who's my point person on that day? Because if I can't find the fucking light switch, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Or if I don't know how to operate, like,
Or we're running around trying to turn them on and
or
off.
it's a fucking switchboard of light switches because we've got so many different things. Like, those are things that I want to be shown how to do. So if you're not on that when it's time, I already know how to do that. But also the venue coordinators who are like on it.
Yes.
You, like, I'm helping the bride get her dress bustled, touching base with the DJ, making sure that we're good for the first dance, and I don't have to worry about the lights because Tyler is fucking on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what happened. Shout out to Sparrow Lane. Like, legit, because any event manager or, like, coordinate, like, a venue coordinator, like, they know what their job is, and they're going to do theirs so that you can do yours.
Yes.
And I also find that if the venue has a venue coordinator or event manager who actually knows what they're doing,
That's the key.
Right. We end up working as a team.
Yeah.
And like, that's my thing. I feel like, okay, I'm the team captain of the day, but we still need to work together.
Yeah.
We don't have to like each other, but we do have to work together.
Yeah, 100%.
And
100%.
we need to do it well. And I am, quote unquote, responsible for how the day comes out because I'm that team captain. There's going to be certain things for sure that are like your responsibility. So like if we're going to go with the whole analogy of a team, I would say that your team captain is your wedding coordinator, but your goalie is your venue coordinator.
1,000%. And that's beautiful.
Right?
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, like you're
I'm
literally
proud of myself in that analogy right
it's
now.
okay. You did
but like,
good.
Legit,
You did good.
Like, your venue coordinator is your goalie, and if I'm communicating how our team should play properly, that venue coordinator is our last line of defense.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like all your other vendors are kind of like in their positions that they need to be. And like your goalie is just like, pulling it all together and making sure everything is good. It's solid.
Yeah.
They're checking in with you. They're like, do you need anything? What can I do to help?
Yeah.
Like literally every great venue experience I've had, my venue coordinator is coming with me and constantly communicating with me and vice versa.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm probably in the corner being like, oh my fucking God, talking to them about some shit.
Probably.
Whatever. But like for me, that's a sign of you're competent enough to understand like when I need a sounding board, because I'm not going to be there like with all my vendors.
Yeah.
But like if I can't be real with you, it's probably because I don't think you're competent enough to handle it.
Yeah.
So that means I need to have my face on at all times because now I need to handle you.
Yeah.
And that also means I probably don't respect you either.
Yeah, legit.
Right?
Well, and like thinking about it too, like you think about like if something goes wrong, chances are if it's something big, it's a venue problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
unless it's like my past weekend and an ambulance showed up. So there's that too.
Wow. Yeah. Side note, everyone's fine.
Everyone is good. They're all good.
But yeah, I just think like it's really interesting, just people's different perspectives on like what a wedding coordinator is supposed to do and how they function.
But it's confusing, and it's not their fault, because this is one of those things where there's a lot of venues where I see they openly say that we offer venue coordination. So then they'll talk to your photographers, they'll talk to DJs, they'll talk to whoever and be like, yeah, we have a venue coordinator, right? It's so-and-so, or a wedding coordinator, it's so-and-so. And it's like, no, that's your hotel or that's your venue. It's like, no, they told us that they do coordination as well.
But
and
they don't.
They don't. It's not the same thing, right? And that a lot of it comes down to those venues. And you're like, please just give the right information to the clients, because then they're going to be fucking confused and they're going to think they don't need it. And the day of, they're like, well, we're fucked. Or your photographer's handling it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that's the thing. If you don't have a wedding coordinator, the bride becomes the wedding coordinator, or the photographer becomes the wedding coordinator.
And it's not fair, because they're not paid to do that. They're not fucking paid to do that.
No.
And then if they don't do it, they automatically kind of get blamed in this weird way too. I've heard of times where DJs have had to step in as the coordinator because they have the timeline for speeches and dances. So now they have to call it and do things. They're like, I was just supposed to play music.
Yeah.
And now they've got to do more and track down people and call them and get them there and in their places
and
and
I
all
think
this
like
shit.
another level to that too, and like this is totally a plug to like any industry pro that's watching. A good coordinator makes your life easier.
Yeah.
Period. End. Like a good coordinator makes your life easier.
That's just it. You actually get to come and
You get to
do
just
your
do
art
your job.
or your job, whatever it is.
Just your job.
Yeah.
Nobody else's.
Isn't that a great feeling?
Right?
When am I going to be able to go in and just do my job? I feel like every one of my weddings, I'm doing somebody else's job. But we'll get there eventually, hopefully, one day. No, we will. It'll happen.
It'll be good.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's our episode for today. Thanks, guys, for coming and listening to us kind of get it all out there.
I got a little heated for a second.
Just a little bit.
Fine.
I had to reel it in a bit. I'm like, maybe just a little bit. A lot of it. It's fine.
Not name drop a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
Respect anonymity.
But these are real experiences, right? Like
Totally.
we're going to have them. I know for a fact, like almost every other not venue coordinator, but wedding planner or wedding coordinator has had the exact same experience in some capacity.
Yeah, totally.
Right? And it's the industry, right? And if you can't hack it, honestly, that's what usually leads to a lot of people leaving because they don't realize that's everything that goes into it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the difference between what we actually do. Thanks for joining us.
It's scraping the surface too.
I know.
We could talk about this forever.
I know.
But you're gonna have to tune into the next episode.
Yeah. We're gonna go on another tirade about something else.
Just like way over here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, bye.